And I'll be willing to come speak at your college class anytime. If I'm out in the area, give me a call or come share the creation view. Thank you so much.
It's a great question, and here's the answer. I want you to all think about what you would have to do to see macroevolution taking place today. Us evolutionists are completely confident. We're 100% sure as he is that Christ died for his sins. We're sure that evolution is taking place constantly all over the earth. Why don't we see it? Think about this. If you wanted to observe macroevolution, if you wanted to see a pretty big change taking place from one species to another, where on earth would you go to have the highest probability of seeing it? And the answer is a rainforest. You saw the picture of the Costa Rican rainforest with me in there? You'd want to go to a rainforest. And the reason why is because tropical rainforests contain arthropods, insects. Okay, there's millions of them. There may be, it's not impossible, there may be 30 million species of insects on this planet. Most of them haven't been discovered yet, okay? And we know that insects are a veritable playground for evolution. They seem to evolve very rapidly, okay? So if ever you had a chance to see macroevolution, it would be in a rainforest. You got all these insects, insects evolve rapidly, that's the place to go. You with me? Okay, now, so there I was in a Costa Rican rainforest, and looking for macroevolution, quote unquote, and sure enough, I didn't find it. Why? Well, you remember the pictures of the butterflies? There you saw some pictures of butterflies. If I go down there and I discover a brand new butterfly, totally radically new butterfly that no one's ever seen before, okay? What do I do? What do I do epistemologically? Is that a brand new butterfly that just evolved yesterday? It may be. I'm totally confident that new butterflies are evolving all the time down there. How do I know? There may be 1 million species of butterflies on this planet that just haven't been discovered. And then the second thing is to document that it was evolution. What else do you have? What do you really have to see? Think of my central mechanism of evolution thing. Mutation in the germline cells of a parent, right, leads to altered embryological development, which shows up in the offspring, right? So what would you have to do to verify that it's a newly evolved butterfly?
You have to have faith.
No.
The parent and the offspring.
No, that's not the right answer. What would you have to do? It's an empirical scientific question. You'd have to find the parents. You have to find the parents and show that the parents look different from the offspring. Well, what are your chances of finding the parents of a butterfly in a Costa Rican rainforest? See, so we're in a situation similar to, 100 years ago, you look at the moon, okay? The moon looks spherical. The moon probably has a backside. You could come up to somebody and say, do you think the moon has a backside? Well, yeah, I think so. We'll prove it. See? You know darn well it has a backside, but you're totally incapable of proving it. We know darn well that macroevolution is taking place on other grounds that I don't have time to talk about, but we are in fact completely incapable of proving it for the reasons that I've just given you. Okay?
Okay, and I think that demonstrates clearly what I've been saying all night. It's a religion. It's not a faith. I mean, it's not a science, okay? It's easy to think the moon has a backside because of the impossibility of the contrary, okay? All round objects that we see have backsides to them. Now, the idea that there's not a creator is clearly impossible. Things are just too complex. There had to have been a creator. As far as the original question of going from, dinosaurs to birds, if you could undo the covers there, please. There are thousands and thousands, possibly millions of differences between reptiles and birds. And he's glossing over these gross differences. The lung structure, you mentioned about the bone structure. Bones are hollow on birds and solid on reptiles. The lung structure is different. The eggs are different. The reproductive system is different. There are thousands of major differences and probably millions or billions of minor differences. Reptiles are covered with scales. Birds are covered with feathers. They're both made of keratin, but that's where the similarity stops. They come from different genes on the chromosome. Feathers are extremely complex. Your hair is made of keratin. Your fingernails are made of keratin. The fact that different structures in the world are made of keratin on different creatures is proof the designer is using the same material for different applications. Just like battleships and forks and tin cans are all made out of iron, that doesn't prove a relationship. It proves iron's a good metal to make a lot of different things out of, and keratin's a good protein to make a lot of things out of. It's not at all evidence of relationship. It's evidence of design.
The second law of thermodynamics is antithetical to evolution because order cannot arise out of disorder. Is that how you've heard it formulated? Yeah. Okay. Is Terry here tonight? My colleague Terry made 3 video clips for me. Would you agree with that statement that order cannot arise from disorder? Because that's how I very often hear it stated.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay, well, watch this. Now, you're sure order cannot arise from disorder. Oh, good heavens. Okay, watch this. What just happened? A few milligrams of highly disordered, what we would call high entropy state water molecules, vibrating, rotating, translating through space, went from a highly disordered state, a high entropy state, to a much more ordered state. Here's another one. Here in a culture dish are bacteria growing. Untold trillions of highly disordered glucose molecules and lipids and so forth in a chaotic state are turning into a highly ordered state. And the last one, and I don't mind doing this because I know that Dr. Hoven will love to respond to these pictures. Okay? Here, finally, is a narcissus plant. What's happening there? Again, highly disordered carbon dioxide molecules in the air, water molecules in the soil are becoming ordered. So before your very eyes, order is being created out of disorder. High entropy materials are entering into a lower entropy state. So one thing is certain, the usually heard statement that order cannot arise from disorder is complete poppycock, and creationists need to stop using that. And my colleague, Kent Hoven, is way too smart to use that statement. He would never be stupid enough to say that. See, he would never use that. I'm telling, this is a sermon for you guys. Stop using that silly statement. Now what Dr. Hoven will say next is that what you need to create order out of disorder is 2 things. You need Gibbs free energy. You need a high quality source of free energy to drive it. And it's not enough